If you stay in your comfort zone, that's where you will fail. You will fail in your comfort zone. Success is not a comfortable procedure. It is a very uncomfortable thing to attempt. So you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable if you ever want to be successful.
You don't get to be successful without risk. Investing grows your money quicker than anything. You can't work that many jobs to keep earning money. You got to have some money sitting somewhere that's working for you. Your job is to work to make the money. And then you got to get your money to work for you.
But if you're a good person, you can do good stuff with money. You know, people say that money changes people. It really doesn't. You know what I learned about money? Money don't change people. Money allows you to be more of who you really are. See, if you're a kind person, when you get a lot of money, you become a kinder person. If you're an hole, when you get a lot of money, you become a big hole. It's money. It allows you to amplify whoever you really are. And that's it. If you see a person that's cool with money, it's because he always been cool. If you stay in your comfort zone, that's where you will fail. You will fail in your comfort zone. Success is not a comfortable procedure. It is a very uncomfortable thing to attempt. So you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable if you ever want to be successful.
You don't get to be successful without risk. Investing grows your money quicker than anything. You can't work that many jobs to keep earning money. You got to have some money sitting somewhere that's working for you. Your job is to work to make the money. And then you got to get your money to work for you.
But if you're a good person, you can do good stuff with money. You know, people say that money changes people. It really doesn't. You know what I learned about money? Money don't change people. Money allows you to be more of who you really are. See, if you're a kind person, when you get a lot of money, you become a kinder person. If you're an hole, when you get a lot of money, you become a big hole. It's money. It allows you to amplify whoever you really are. And that's it. If you see a person that's cool with money, it's because he always been cool. If you stay in your comfort zone, that's where you will fail. You will fail in your comfort zone. Success is not a comfortable procedure. It is a very uncomfortable thing to attempt. So you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable if you ever want to be successful.
You don't get to be successful without risk. Investing grows your money quicker than anything. You can't work that many jobs to keep earning money. You got to have some money sitting somewhere that's working for you. Your job is to work to make the money. And then you got to get your money to work for you.
But if you're a good person, you can do good stuff with money. You know, people say that money changes people. It really doesn't. You know what I learned about money? Money don't change people. Money allows you to be more of who you really are. See, if you're a kind person, when you get a lot of money, you become a kinder person. If you're an when you get a lot of money, you become a big hole. It's money. It allows you to amplify whoever you really are. And that's it. If you see a person that's cool with money, it's because he always been cool. If you stay in your comfort zone, that's where you will fail. You will fail in your comfort zone. Success is not a comfortable procedure. It is a very uncomfortable thing to attempt. So you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable if you ever want to be successful.
You don't get to be successful without risk. Investing grows your money quicker than anything. You can't work that many jobs to keep earning money. You got to have some money sitting somewhere that's working for you. Your job is to work to make the money. And then you got to get your money to work for you.
But if you're a good person, you can do good stuff with money. You know, people say that money changes people. It really doesn't. You know what I learned about money? Money don't change people. Money allows you to be more of who you really are. See, if you're a kind person, when you get a lot of money, you become a kinder person. If you're an hole, when you get a lot of money, you become a big hole. It's money. It allows you to amplify whoever you really are. And that's it. If you see a person that's cool with money, it's because he always been cool. If you stay in your comfort zone, that's where you will fail. You will fail in your comfort zone. Success is not a comfortable procedure. It is a very uncomfortable thing to attempt. So you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable if you ever want to be successful.
You don't get to be successful without risk. Investing grows your money quicker than anything. You can't work that many jobs to keep earning money. You got to have some money sitting somewhere that's working for you. Your job is to work to make the money. And then you got to get your money to work for you.
But if you're a good person, you can do good stuff with money. You know, people say that money changes people. It really doesn't. You know what I learned about money? Money don't change people. Money allows you to be more of who you really are. See, if you're a kind person, when you get a lot of money, you become a kinder person. If you're when you get a lot of money, you become a big hole. It's money. It allows you to amplify whoever you really are. And that's it. If you see a person that's cool with money, it's because he always been cool. If you stay in your comfort zone, that's where you will fail. You will fail in your comfort zone. Success is not a comfortable procedure. It is a very uncomfortable thing to attempt. So you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable if you ever want to be successful.
You don't get to be successful without risk. Investing grows your money quicker than anything. You can't work that many jobs to keep earning money. You got to have some money sitting somewhere that's working for you. Your job is to work to make the money. And then you got to get your money to work for you.
But if you're a good person, you can do good stuff with money. You know, people say that money changes people. It really doesn't. You know what I learned about money? Money don't change people. Money allows you to be more of who you really are. See, if you're a kind person, when you get a lot of money, you become a kinder person. If you're an
Hi, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello there. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. We're jumping right straight into today. About 295 as of the last count when I checked the registration for this particular encounter, actually registered for this event. And when I did the analysis, I realized that we have about 13 countries represented, and most of them used exactly the same word in that application, in the form you completed. And you know what I realized? The same thing you were all saying. And what is that? I am tired of being broke. You're saying I cried, but I lost with money. Money comes in and it disappears. My salary disappears before the month ends. I don't know where my money is gone. Do you know something? I want you to know that Coach Mo heard you. And that's exactly why we're here today. So before we start, my name is Dr. Maya Wolusaji. I'm for me Coach Mo, and for over 30 good years, I have sat at the architecture of global finance, and this is about investment banking, transaction banking. And these are the machineries that are actually responsible for how money flows all over the world. And for the last several years, there's something that has been my mission, and that is everything I know, everything I've learned, and everything I've experienced, and to do what? To take that together and simplify that for people just like you, so that you can have access to what has been discussed in the rooms I've been in and places I've been in, what I've learned. Exactly for that. People who are hungry, you're ready to go, and you're saying, Coach, we're here. Let us get it started. And one thing I'm going to tell you tonight that is guaranteed is tonight is not a motivational speak at all. You've had more than enough of those. You've gone to places where you've been pumped up, you've heard a lot, and nothing has changed. But tonight, I am telling you, by the special grace of God, I'm going to show you just one thing, one financial superpower that most adults like myself, we did not discover until it's way too late. And based on the data we have, most of you are under 35. So if you're under 35, that's about almost 78% of you. This information is going to change the trajectory of your wealth, the trajectory of your life. I can guarantee that. And if you're over 35, don't worry about that as well. I will show you the second best time to start tonight. Then I'm going to give you what I call a 90-day action plan. So I'm not going to go through all of this and leave you hanging. No, I'm going to give you a 90-day action plan that you can start implementing before you leave this room. So before we start, let me say, I want to take the moment to acknowledge all of you that you're here. Especially, we've got a group of professionals from MTN Nigeria, the Women Are Yale community. Welcome. I do really appreciate you being here. And we also have the members of the Wine Press community from TSG. Dr. Obiye sent you well. We have people joining us from the UK, the US, Canada, Kenya, South Africa, Germany, even Israel. This is a global room tonight. We have young people who are still students, many of you who have registered. Now, thank you for taking the courage. That means you're already ahead of the game. So tonight, I would say, welcome to all of you. Could you please just put your mic on the mute so we're not disrupting, and then we start. But before we start, we're going to do something very, very quick. Do you know what that is? We're going to do a very quick, what I call a picture poll. And that poll there is my team. They're going to push that right now in the chat room. Check your chat box, and you'll see that. And it's a very simple question. Honestly, what is your current financial situation? Just pick, just select. Honestly, don't overthink this. Don't think so much about it. Don't worry so much about it. Just think about it. Just read that and say, what is your current financial situation? I'll give you a minute or two to do that while you're doing that. Just go with your, what you think it is. Don't think so much about that. What do you think is your current financial situation? I can see a few of us are still on here. We've not done that. I'll give you a little bit of time to do it. We have about, I think, 30 more seconds for the poll. What is your honest answer to that question? Your current financial situation. What would you say it is? Okay, we have 7 more seconds. Go ahead, continue. And while you're doing that, I'll give you, yeah, okay, let me give you now. We still have quite a few people that have not completed that. Please, would appreciate if you can do that. Just select which of the options apply to you. Your honest opinion, your honest reflection on what is your current financial situation. So, the key highlights for today, if you're between the age of 16 and 35, and your financial situation is not how you want it to be, you're in the right room. If your income constantly disappears, I'll tell you this, you're in the right room. If you're tired of motivational quotes, you've had so many motivational quotes, you've been pumped up, you've been hyped up, you're in the right place because you're going to get a system today, not just choice of mere words. If you're confused about investing, debt, savings, you don't know where to start, each time you switch on, you go to the YouTube, you go to Instagram, you go on here, one person is saying something that is contributing to what the next person is saying. I got you covered tonight. So let's continue. Now, what is that one superpower that only the young people have? And most of you are sleeping on it. Thank you very much. Can we bring the poll to an end because it's going to be a very, 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 very interactive session. So we're going straight to another. Let's give people 3 more seconds. If you know you've just joined us right now, you've not completed the poll. We have a poll going on right now, which says, what is your current financial situation? Just select one of the options available. So most of you might not know who this man is. Probably many of you do. Now, this is Warren Buffett. In the investing world, is like we call him the Oracle of Omaha. He's like the granddaddy of investing in the investment world. Warren Buffett just actually retired right now from being the CEO of Berkshire Hathaway. He led the company for well over probably 60, 70 years. He's 95 years old. and currently is worth 138. Now, straight to the next poll. This is the feedback from our fourth poll. About 34% of you says, you know what? You're barely surviving. You're in the right place. 36% saying surviving but not saving. So that means about 70 people here are saying either they're barely surviving or they're surviving and they're not saving. Now, saving but not investing. About 18% of you are saving, you're not investing, and only 13% are actually doing something about investing, but you need more. You are at the right place. So let's get back to who Warren Buffett is. I was talking about Warren Buffett right now, and this is Warren Buffett. You can all see. Now, that is a lot of billions is worth. Now, my question to you, I'm going to ask you a very genuine question. Based on your age, your current situation right now, if it was possible that Warren Buffett says, okay, I will swap places with you. That means Warren Buffett becoming you with your age and you becoming Warren Buffett with Warren Buffett's age and his net worth and all he has. How many of you will take that switch? Can you let me know in the poll now? Would you swap places with Warren Buffett right now for you to be Warren Buffett to be 95 years old and have his wealth, or for you to say it's simple yes or no? Would you swap places with Warren Buffett? I'll give you a couple of minutes to do it's a quick one, yes or no. Right now, as you are, your age, everything, would you swap places with Warren Buffett? He is a 95-year-old veteran worth $138 billion. Would you swap places with him? 95 years old. I'll let us get to around probably 80% completed, so that way we'll be able to have a good sizable data. Okay, let's see. We still have a few more people that have not completed that. Will you swap places with Warren Buffett right now? That means it becomes your age and your current financial situation, and you become his age and his current financial situation. Would you swap places with him? I want us to get to 80%, then we will stop the poll for us to know that we've got quite a sizable data we're looking at. Okay, let's continue. Let's go with. Once we get to 80%, I will stop. So we can move on to the next thing. It's going to be a very practical, interactive session tonight. Okay, we still have a few more people that have not voted. Let's give them 7 more seconds. If not, we'll go with the result of the poll. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, let's stop the poll because we have a lot to go through tonight. End the poll right now. So let's share the results. So about 77% of you actually participated. Now, overwhelmingly, 90% of you says there is no way you're going to swap places with Warren Buffett right now. Now, that is interesting. Now, that is the second data points we have. Remember the first one? Now, this is the second one. 90% of you says there is no way you're going to swap places with Warren Buffett. Your age is less than 35 and Warren Buffett is 95. Okay. Now, let's see what happens next. Now, here is Bill Gates. I think many of you might know him. If not, Bill Gates is one of the 3 founders of Microsoft. Now, the question I'm going to ask you now, Bill Gates is 70 years old. Bill Gates is almost 25 years younger than Warren Buffett. So Bill Gates is 70. Will you swap places with Bill Gates? Please, can we change the poll quickly, please? Can we change the poll quickly? Now, will you swap places with Bill Gates right now? Now, Bill Gates is what? 70 years old. He's worth over 100 billion as well. You are who you are with your age. 81% of you are actually less than 35. So the big question there is, will you swap places? If you wouldn't swap places with Warren Buffett is 95, I get that. Bill Gates is 70 years old and he's worth $110 billion. Will you swap places with him? I'll let us get to around that 77% so we know that we're doing with the same percentage in terms of the poll. Will you swap places with Bill Gates right now, the founder of Microsoft? He's 70 years old. He's still very much active. He's worth well over $100 billion. Will you swap places if it were possible for you to swap places with him right now? Okay, I'll just wait for another 10 more seconds. We have well over 70% response, so that is a good size. Let's continue. Will you swap places with Bill Gates right now? Your age, you're less than 35, though you're struggling financially and things like that, but this is Bill Gates, founder of Microsoft, $710 billion, but he's 70 years old. Would you swap places with him? Okay, we have 75% response. Now let me see what we have here right now. Okay, I'm going to end the poll right now just because of time. Now, I've ended the poll right now, and 94% of you said there is no way you are going to swap places with Bill Gates. No, you're not going to do it. Okay, now this begs the question, which I'm going to now. My question is why? I'm going to go through the chat. Can you please drop in the chat? Why would you not swap places with them? I really want to know why. Why would you not swap places with them? Why would you not swap places with them? I want to understand. Why would you not swap places with them? I can see some people. Okay, I can see Adam said time. He says age. Okay, wow, that is beautiful. Let me see. Why would you not swap? I won't because I have the advantage of time. Beautiful. I love that. We are too old. I have time to restart. Wow. I would miss my entire journey to create well. Wow. The journey. I love the response. Okay, let's have more. Just tell me, why would you? I would rather you train me, mentor me. We have different purpose. Even at that age, I can't enjoy the wealth again. Wow. I believe if they can, I can do it too. Beautiful. David says, don't have a lot of money. I wouldn't have enough time to enjoy it. But like what I say, they've had the money in a long time. Wow. I only need information to become like them. That's what the person is beautiful. Enjoy the journey of creating wealth. Wow, this is beautiful. Let me just have a few more. I want to understand why 90 to 94% of you says you will not swap places with neither Warren Buffett nor Bill Gates. I have to run my own race. I won't swap places with them because I want to build some of my own skill. I won't fully understand the journey factor. The age is a very big factor. Fikayomi, that is beautiful. Responsibility I didn't build from the scratch. Wow, that is beautiful. That is impeccable. Oh, this is going to be an interesting night. Let's continue. I haven't gained the knowledge about the wealth and then the time. So most of you are really, both of these men have lived their lives and passed through process. I would rather they mentor me, get information, also enjoy the process of building wealth, because everyone has their own story and own journey. There will be nothing to use as lesson to teach younger generation. We have a room filled tonight. I wouldn't know. Information is what I need. I can do better than them because of the advantage I have. This is beautiful. I love the responses. Now, it's going to be an interesting night. So now let's get to the crux of the matter. Now, this is one of the biggest lies that keep people broke. And what is that? I'll start investing when I earn more. I'm waiting for a raise. I'm waiting for a big break. I've heard this several times. CoachMO, when the money arrives, when I get that job, when I finish my degree, when I finish studying and I become a medical doctor and I'm earning hundreds and thousands of dollars and pounds or Kenyan dollars, Kenyan shillings, I will be able to then do what? Then start doing this thing. But wait, I'm just chilling. I've read this one like, you know what? I'm going to wait because of why? I'm waiting because when I have enough money, I am going to start. Now, this is where the problem is. See, I'm going to tell you this from practical life experience, from the thousands of research I've done, books I've read. I will tell you this without confidence. The real reason most people never build wealth is not income, it is their relationship with time. And I've just proved this to you in the little bit of the activity we did. When I started, I wanted to know how things are going. Like 87% of you're getting by. You're not where you need to be. I get that. However, I gave you the opportunity, like if you would swap places with billionaires who one of them is 70, one of them is 85, all of you, 90%, over 90% of the women said, no, you're not going to swap places with them. So we are agreeing on one thing, and that is, it is not just time. You need to pay attention tonight. It is very, very crucial. It is not just time that is the problem. And I will tell you this, take it from me free of charge. The problem is never your income. The greatest problem I have seen over time is what? It is your relationship with time. You all gave me fantastic reasons why you wouldn't switch places with them. And everything you told me is relating to time. Now, that tells me you kind of have an idea that time is what it is, but what you did not nail down is actually your relationship with what? With time. So this is what I call your superpower. I call it compound time. It's called compound time. Now, these are two key elements. Number one is compound interest and what? And time. See, this is the intersection where compound interest and time. And I know that you've been taught to save, but what you've really not been taught to do is what I'm going to tell you tonight. You have not been taught the value of whatever currency you have, pounds, naira, shilling, dollars, euros, whatever currency, whatever nation you are. You've not been taught the value of that currency as it relates to your relationship with time. And I'm going to give you a very, very practical example. I'm going to give you what? I'm going to walk you through two individuals. Now, both of them, they are in the exact same financial position. They have the same intelligence, they have the same grit, they have the same zeal, they are from the same country. But both of them did something that is quite different. And this is it. We have Adeze and we have who? We have Kemi. You can see that Adeze is a graphics designer in Lagos doing well. And Kemi is what? Kemi is a marketing manager. Both of them are pursuing that career. Now, something happened. At the age of 22, which is the average age of almost 85% of you here, Adeze started investing 10,000 naira only from what she earned. And Adeze invested for just 10 years. By the age of 32, Adeze stopped investing. And she only put in how much? 100 and what? 1.2 million naira was everything she invested, nothing more. Now we have Kemi on the other hand. Kemi wasn't really worried. Kemi was pursuing career. Kemi was thinking, when I become the manager, when I earn a lot more, I'm going to start to invest. So Kemi did not really start anything to do with money. He was so focused on the career. So when Kemi got to age of 32, Kemi started to say, you know what, let me start putting something aside. So from the age of 32, Kemi has been investing 10,000 naira for a month for how many years? Up until the age of 62. So for 30 more years, Kemi invested. For 10 years, Adeze started 22, invested to 32 and stopped. By the time both of them got to 62, let me tell you what happened. Adeze had 14.6 million naira. This is not emotion, this is pure maths. And Adeze had only put down just 1.2 million. Adeze had only done what? Had only invested for just 10 years and stopped. Kemi started late, but Kemi invested for 30 good years. How much did Kemi put down there? If you can tell me on the chart. Kemi invested 3.6 million. So Kemi invested 3 times what Adeze invested. But after time, Kemi only got a return of 10.4 million naira by the time both of them were 62. Kemi missed 10 years that Adeze only invested. Adeze stopped just about when Kemi started. And Kemi she remained consistent for 30 good years. With all her labor and all her effort, she still could not meet the target that Adeze had by the time Adeze was 62, 14.6. Adeze started early. Adeze did for just 10 years, but Adeze came out on top. This is the perfect example for you to see what compound time means. You can see the graph there. I know so many of you, you're probably thinking, let me know what's your thoughts on this. Talk to me in the chat. Let me quickly go into the chat before I continue. What do you think? What's your thoughts? Tell me, this is not me talking at you. This is both of us having a conversation. See, I'm a one-on-this person. So the same way I'm talking to David is the same way I'm talking to Paul. And as much as you're almost over 100 or almost to 100 here, now, can you see what engineer Ikuba said? She said, "Child, I would have started investing like Adeze while I was serving." Absolutely. See, that one superpower. Nobody has ever told you the importance of that particular power. No. Everybody tells you it is time, but they did not tell you it is your relationship with time and what you do with it. You starting early. 10 years made a difference. I can tell you the principle is not fair. Somebody who invested just 10 years started early and stopped. Somebody who started later and did it for 30 good years still could not catch up. And that is why I said your superpower is your time. It is not about the money you don't have. I see most of you, you are too worried about what you don't have. Coach, I don't have this. I don't have regular income. I don't. But do you know one thing I can tell every single one of you on this call tonight? One way, one form, one way or the other, you have had money come into your hands consistently every month. Can you please let me know if that is true or not? Some reason, maybe if somebody gave you the money, maybe your parents gave you, maybe it was pocket money, whatever it was, you've had money come into your hands consistently every month for a period of time and a sizable period of time. But you've always thought about it in the sense that the problem is either the money and it's always not enough. So you think it's not enough for you to do. So what should I just do? Let me just do what I need to do. And you know what it taught us, that let me focus on my education. See, I love education. I love cerebral people. I am no way discouraging you from focusing on your education to become a doctor, lawyer, architect, whatever you want to become. I will cheer for you. But I want to let you know something. You can do both. It is not either or. There is this excuse that because you are a student, you need to wait till you've started working. That is when you start investing. If you do that, you become Femi, whereby it does not matter how long you remain persistent thereafter. You have wasted time you can never roll back the hands of time on. So I'm quickly going to take a detour to Nigeria. Why is that? And the reason is because I think about 75% of you that you're here tonight, you are either in Nigeria, from Nigeria, but we picked up the data that you put Nigeria as a country. That is beautiful. One thing I can tell you, for whatever reason, there is more urgency. Now, it's urgent for everybody to do that, but there is an urgent drive for you to stop procrastinating and for you to start now. There is an urgency for you to become a Tunde who is a software developer who feels, you know what, in 2023, Tunde did not really know a lot of things to do. So Tunde did not want to make things complicated. And Tunde just started buying treasury bills with a small fraction of what Tunde earned consistently. 2024, devaluation happened. He was not bothered. He was not moved. His portfolio kept what? Kept growing. And the same thing with Sherma, who is the nurse. Sherma actually made a smart one. What did Sherma do? Sherma got bamboo. Sherma started doing what? Dollar investment. So what Sherma will do there is Sherma will go every month, go into the app, send in the Naira in there, convert it to dollars, and just pick a dollar-dominated what? Investment and do. So the cost of waiting would cost you more, especially in Nigeria. Why? It is because of the devaluation of Naira. Naira has been devalued for more than 98% in the last 15, 20 years. Now, if you don't live in Nigeria, if you live in Africa, I'm speaking the same language to every one of us here. Ghana, Kenya, Zimbabwe, whatever nation you are in, the currency has been devalued so much that you cannot continue to do what? To wait. So everybody now says, okay, what about we that we're not in Nigeria? Because you really don't have the urgent need for you to worry so much about the valuation of your currency. What should you do? If you're in the UK, you're in the US, Ireland, Germany, South Africa, some of you. In the UK, there's something we call stocks ISA. Don't worry, I would walk through that. I'm just giving you what? This is just a side step. You can go into stock ISA, what's it called? Stocks and shares ISA. That means 20%. You can put in up to £20,000 a year in there. And whatever it grows to be, the government does not tax you with it. You can go on those platforms you have there to get them done. Don't be in a rush. This is just for me to just explain that to you. Later on, I'm going to cover that more in detail. The US is where we have what we call the 401k, which is your Roth IRA. 401k is when you work and your employer. In the UK, it is called, contribute, what's it called? The fat contribution, where you contribute and the employer contributes as well. In America, it's popular, they call it Roth IRA or the traditional IRA. When you employ, you increase your pension pot and your employer, what? So your money is being doubled immediately at source. That's what happens. Now, when you not do that, there's not a way for you to even invest further in tax shielded funds called the Roth IRA. Roth IRA grows tax-free. Whatever grows in there is tax-free. But the reality I want you to know is here is the third sector there. High income is not equal to wealth. It does not matter how much you earn. It is not in what you earn that matters. It's actually in what? It is in what you do with what you have that matters. So, what am I saying tonight? See, it's going to be a very straight to the point session I'm having with you tonight. So, what is that now? I call this what is the wealth architecture that we can use to build the foundation before you invest any amount at all? See, most of you already says you don't know what to do or there's nothing to do. So I'm telling you, slow down. I will give you a practical step. So what do you do? What is the blueprint for you to start? I call that the GLG framework. Very simple, GLG. Now, the importance of this framework is what I want you to pay attention to. There are three main buckets only is what you have. Just three buckets. Now, the first bucket, I call it the grow bucket. There is a reason why the first G is grow. Pay attention, please. The first bucket is grow. So that means whatever comes into your hands, see, will you earn a gift? Daddy gives you, mommy gives you, this uncle gives you, friends give you, you have a side gig, you cut the lawn, you lawn the lawn, you cut the grass, whatever you do. The first thing you do is you visit the first bucket, which is what? The grow bucket. And the grow bucket, you put between 20 to 30%. Why I'm telling you 20 to 30% is at this stage of your life, you can still afford to put that much in there. 80% of you, you don't have family responsibilities. 80% of you, you're not married yet. You don't have children you're sending to school. So whatever you're spending on is probably on yourself and maybe a little bit of family support. So some of you would say, CoachMO, you want to kill somebody? 3%. I've given you the band between 20 and 30. Start with that. So before you do anything else, take that and put it into an account. That means you're going to have an account called the Grow account there. Now, whatever is left, there are two things you do with it. There is a bucket called the leave. Now, whatever it takes for you to be alive, hale, and healthy, whatever it takes for you to survive on, to live on, that is your rent, your food, your transport, your utility, all of those things that are non-negotiable, that are fixed, that comes. About 60% of that, of your money goes into that. Now, the last bucket is what I call the give and the flex. Hey, I am not one of those coaches that will tell you not to live. What I'm saying is you give and also you look after your manageable desires. Between 10 and 20% should go towards your giving, your experience, your tithes, your generosity. And also you can have a little bit of emotional spending. Do you know what is good about that bucket? Once you put everything into that account, you know when that account goes to zero, that is it. You don't have any other way around. So in essence, what I'm telling you there is you can only spend 70% of what comes in. You've taken out the first 20 to 30%. So if things are so tight, put it to 20. But what you're doing there is you're not spending 80, then growing the 20. No. The first thing you do is you take and put into the grow bucket. And I've got some practical examples. Let's say you earn 150,000 naira, a month. you know automatically 30,000 of that goes into your growth bucket accounts. Now you live on 90K. And then you've got 30K to give, to spend on, you want to eat shawarma, you want to do this, you want to do that. What that tells me there is you have 120,000 to live on and to give and to flex with. But you've already taken 20% out into your growth first. If you're earning 300, I've broken that down. 75% straight away. That is what? 25%, because you earn more. So it's between the 20 and 30. That goes immediately into what? Into that bucket. You grow first and then live. After living, then you can give and flex. Whatever the case says, the first principle is what? You grow first and other things follow. Can you please type into the chat room? I want to hear. Can you please type? You grow first. You grow first. You grow first. I want to say, you grow first. Let me see. How many of you are going to type that? You grow first. That is the first thing you do. Engrave that into your memory. Engrave that into your fiber. Whatever the case is, whatever goes through your hand, the first thing what you see, I grow first. That is your mantra going forward. You get 1,000 naira, you know out of that 1,000 naira, 300 is not yours, 200 is not yours. You tell yourself what? You grow first. So that is the word I want to keep hearing. You grow first. You grow first. I grow first. I grow first. I grow first. Nurture the machine that is bringing in the money. I grow first. I grow first. Thank you. Keep going. That is what I want you to keep remembering. Keep playing. Every morning when you wake up, you look into the mirror, you say your prayer, you tell yourself, I grow first. I grow first. That means you know that 20 to 30% of what comes in, you set aside first. And you deal with what comes in after that. Now, this is what happens and why that particular order is important. Let me tell you where the trap is. The trap is money comes in, you earn the income. Somebody gives you money. You get a pocket money. Daddy sends you money. Money sends you money. Uncle give you money. You work. They pay you out where you work. Whatever the case is, something comes into your hands. The first thing the world is taught us to do is to spend. We spend on life. We pay our bills. And we think that's okay. Whatever is left is what I will save. This is the difference between people that build wealth and people that did not build wealth. See, we can have all the excuses in the world why we did not build, but you know something, we cannot turn back. You can never turn back the hands of time, even when you start to earn later in life. That means you have to commit more money into the investing world for you to be able to even break even with somebody who had this principle and they were just putting bare minimum away. They had the I grow first principle. Now, the system is telling you when you earn, automatically you take out the 20 to 30%. And then what do? You live on the rest. What happens there? You remember there was a video we actually played before we started this session. That video was telling you your money now begins to see, the earlier and the longer your money has time to work for you, the better and the harder your money works for you. The more time your money has, the better and harder your money works. You only have 24 hours in a day. How many hours of that do you think you can work consistently and for you to build wealth if you don't start early? Now, this is where we're going to take a pause and say, okay, coach, you remember when I tell you you grow, I said you set that money aside. I did not say you go and invest that money. So that money you're setting aside, most of you are thinking, okay, coach, what do I do with it? This is what you're going to do with it. You are firstly going to lock away and pull together between 1 to 3 months of your living expenses. Start with 1 month. Don't worry about 2 and 3 months. Start with 1 month of your living expenses. What does that mean? That means if you earn 100,000 naira every month, you need to be taking away 20,000 to 30,000 every month until you have saved the 100,000 in that account. Do not even attempt to start investing that. And I will tell you why. Now, this account you're going to start with, it is not a savings account that when you now feel like, okay, I'm tired today, I cannot cook, let me order food. You now go in there, you take money and say, it's my money, I'll put it back. No, that is you not being responsible. That is you not being disciplined. This is an account that is locked away for only one thing, and that is emergency. An emergency is something you cannot see coming. If you can see it coming, it is not an emergency. So if you earn 200,000, you'll be taking how much away? Between 40 to 60,000 every month. And you will continue to do that until you get to your first 200,000. So what you need to have in that account is between 200 and 600,000. Now, because you are young, you can stop at 200,000. I'm not saying stop taking out 20 to 30%. I'm saying your emergency fund. So your emergency fund is between what? Is between 20, 30, is between what? 1 to 3 months of what you earn every month, what you spend every month. You know what that is going to do? Let me tell you what that does. When something happens and life happens, you would not need to go and sell your investment at a loss because the investment is your investment is meant to be left alone to work for you for years to come. Your investment does not save you in the day of emergency. Your emergency fund does. So what you do there is you start with the 20 to 30%. That one is a lifestyle. Whatever comes in, you take that money apart. So where you put in the money, once you see the money there is up to 1 to 2 months of what? Of your monthly expenses, you go and lock that money away somewhere. And then whatever you have after that is what you now begin to invest with. You grow first, then you grow an emergency fund next. You grow first, then you go an emergency fund next. The minimum emergency fund you can set aside is 1 month. Now, if life happens to you and you don't have to panic and worry about your bills for a whole month, because you are not a lazy creature of life, you would have found a solution within what? Within that 31 days. You wouldn't have to sell your investment if the investment is going through the period we are going right now where the market is down. That is where most people miss it. Most people start, they don't have emergency fund, they start to invest straight away. While they are investing, emergency happens. And then what happens then? They go to their investment, but because their investment is currently down 60%, they will sell it and they will say investing is fraud. No, you did not leave your investing to mature over time. Let me pause a moment because I've got a question. Ochiba says, I need clarification. Is emergency fund 1 to 3 months of living expenses or monthly income? It is 1 to 3 months of your what? Your living expenses. Now, let me tell you, this is where it is, and I'll tell you why it is 1 to 3 months of your monthly income. The reason is because the 20 to 30% you pay yourself, you still have to find a way to continue to do that. So Your emergency fund, 1 to 3 months, will be your monthly income. That is the easiest way for you to solve that problem. If you earn 100,000 a month, your first milestone is for you to be able to save 100,000. If you earn 200,000 a month, your first milestone is for you to save 200,000. That way, it's a very much easier math for you to do. See, I don't want to complicate things for you tonight. No, I want you to be able to have straight, actionable points you can go away with. Now, once you've now done that, and you say, Coach, yes, I've been doing this for 6 months, and sometimes it might take you a whole year for you to save your monthly income. It shouldn't take you a whole year, but if it takes you a whole year, don't be in a rush. Let me see what we have, please. Does it mean all the 20 and 30% at first will go to emergency? 100%. When you start, all the 20 to 30% goes into your emergency fund. See, you're pouring water, your emergency fund is like a jar. Pour the water into it until it fills up. Once it fills up and is overflowing, you put your emergency fund to one side, and then we now talk business. What do we do with what continues to flow again? So now you don't have to worry about emergency. Why? You've got it covered. It does not matter how long it takes you to build your emergency fund. That is your priority. See, investing is not running anywhere. They've been investing since 2, 3, 5,000 years ago, and they will continue to invest until kingdom come. So you are not missing any opportunity. Don't be in a rush. Don't be in a haste. Follow the framework. Follow the principle. I grow first. 20 to 30% first builds me an emergency fund, and I will choose between 1 to 3 months. After that, then I go to the next thing. And what is that? Oh, now I can hear somebody saying, Coach, I have a question. I have debts. I have not been very wise with the way I have been dealing with my money. You know, Coach, when I went to uni and I came out of uni and I got myself into some credit card debts and all of that. Okay, let me slow down before I get to that. Liar's got a question. Can we exceed the fund limit for emergency fund to top up at interval? Absolutely. The more the better. You can do that. There's nothing wrong with that. No, you can do that. Liar, I hope that is answered your question. You can do that, Liar. So now we've talked about I grow first. What have we talked about as well? We've also talked about what? 20 to 30%. We'll talk about emergency fund. Very simple. 1 to 3 months. If 1 month is okay for you, fine. 3 months is okay for you, fine. 2 months is okay for you, fine. Just make sure it is between 1 to 3 months. Okay, now Oluleye just brought me back and said, please, I have a question. What is the difference between emergency fund and your monthly savings? The difference there is you don't have a monthly savings until you have an emergency fund. Once you have an emergency fund, then we can talk about monthly savings later. The first thing you need to have is emergency fund. If you don't have emergency fund, all the money that's coming into your hand is building your emergency fund. Does that answer your question, Oluleye? That is it. I will tell you what you will do once your emergency fund is fully funded. I will talk about what you will do with that. See, these steps might be difficult. It might take you months. For some of you, it might take you a whole year to do it. Do not dump this step. Don't be in a hurry. You have time. Use that time wisely and judiciously. So we've talked about that. So I was just going to say, okay, now we've talked about emergency fund. Let us talk about what you do next. And I can hear some of you thinking like, well, I don't want to say that. Oh, let me see what I'm actually coming across this concept for the first time. Yes, there are so many things you're going to come across for the first time here. Don't worry about it. That's why I'm here for you. Okay, let me slow down. Lydia says, sir, I want to ask, does the grow and leave also apply to someone who runs a business? Now, let me tell you what I'm going to say. I'll quickly just touch on this, but we're going to talk about this later. When you are running a business, your business is to give you an income. So all the income that comes into your hand is applicable. It doesn't matter if it's from your 9 to 5, your 9 to 5 plus your business, plus your business, plus your business, whatever it is, it comes right into that. If it is an income, either from your business or from your 9 to 5, this framework works. Okay, we've got a question from YouTube. Let's say, what happens to the money in emergency fund? It seems like it would just be exposed to the market. See, your emergency fund, it is not for capital appreciation, it is for capital preservation. The emergency happens. Now, some people will say, go and put it in, and don't don't. Your problem is you complicate too much too soon. First, build it, understand it. It is not about it being exposed to market exposure, whatever the case is, inflation, devaluation, depreciation, all of those things does not matter. The reason is because your emergency fund is for capital preservation, not capital appreciation. So let's market exposure, let's inflation now. If life happens now, wouldn't you go and sell the investments you have for you to attend to emergencies of life? Absolutely, you will. That is where we're going. Okay, let me slow down. I think I've got another question here. What kind of accounts are we looking at for your emergency fund? Your emergency fund has got to be what? It's got to be a savings account. It has got to be your savings account. Now, it doesn't matter what savings account it is, whatever the case is. The focus of your emergency fund at this level you are, it is not for you to worry about how to make more money with your emergency fund. See, don't get too wise too soon. The first is obey the principle. Build it, find one account and put it there. When life happens, you can respond to it without having to go and liquidate. And do you know how many people have sold investment at losses? And then later in life, but because they had to attend to an emergency. The markets, if you invested right, the markets, I did the research. If you get my monthly newsletters, please subscribe to it. We'll come to that later. I did a research newsletter last week, and I looked at 100 years. And in the last 100 years, we have had 170 wars. In the middle of the 170 wars, we have had World War II. Do you know that if you put $1,000 at the beginning of 1925, as of today, that money is worth $10 million? Yes, you heard me right. Let's say your parents or your grandparents put $1,000 in the stock markets, especially the US stock markets, and they put 1,000 there in 1925, and all the 170 wars that has happened, COVID, World War II, World War 2.0, World War whatever, the market crash, the Lehman Brothers, 2000, 2008. Right now, as of last week, Monday, they would have $10 million. So the markets usually will recover. But if you sold when the market was down, you have lost the potential of that investment yielding for you. So let us continue. I'll keep an eye on here to see if we have more questions. So people are saying, coach, I have a problem. I have an issue. I've got debt. Absolutely. See, it is not about flogging you why you got into debt or why you didn't get into debt. That's not the whole point of today. The whole point is to say, okay, if you are in debt, the first thing you do there is what? Don't, because of debt, not have an emergency fund. You're already in the debt, I know. Probably what got you into debt is because maybe lack of discipline, or for some of you, it's lack of emergency fund that got you into the debt to start with. So what you do there is you build your emergency fund while you continue to stay in that debt and manage the debt. And what you do there is you write a list of every debt, everybody you owe, write the amount, the name. I owe Capital Groups of Company. I owe CoachMO Investment Group of Company. I owe Clinic of Business. I owe Bank of Mom and Dad. I owe Bank of Friends. I owe everybody. Write the list down. Write how much it is and the interest you pay. Once you've done that, we are now going to use what is called the avalanche principle. That means attack what's it called? The debts with the highest interest first. Let me tell you why. After you've saved your emergency fund, whatever money comes in will attack what? Your debt with the highest interest. Why? You have a debt of $10,000 or 10,000 naira or 10,000 pounds, and you're paying 24% on the debt. And you have 10,000 pounds or $10,000 or 10,000 naira, and you've got to invest it at 12%. You are financing a loan at 24% while you are investing in a vehicle that is paying you 12%. You are at a bigger loss. So once you identify the debt with the highest interest, you attack that first. You communicate with everybody else you owe. You tell them, I'm sorry, I cannot fulfill my obligation, but this is how much I'm able to pay you monthly until my situation gets better. And you slowly continue to go down on that list. So let me quickly, there's a question. Somebody says, sir, I have a question concerning emergency fund. In your savings account, you get charged taxes. So what do you advise? See, you only get to charge taxes if you'll be charged on the interest that is in the account. Now, for some of you, if you're in the US, I know the US has a system whereby US, they have a flat rate where they charge you. Doesn't matter what you do, they'll charge you their $15 or $10 or whatever they charge every month. I can tell you there are other banks and other accounts in the US that charge you nothing. I know one that is called Sophie. Sophie does not charge nothing for you putting money in the account. So the person who is asking, if you're in the US and because you're going to be paying the $15 monthly fee or the $10 monthly fee, go and look for an account that does not charge you monthly fee and put your emergency fund in there. A free savings account. Now, the government might say, okay, if you have money in savings accounts and they pay you those tiny interest to pay, they would want to take tax on the interest. Let them take it. They are taking tax on the interest, not on your capital. Understand the difference there. So you are not worried about them taking tax on the interest anyway, because your focus is not for the interest. You did not put the money there because you want the money to grow. Put the money there so that when emergency happens, you can do what you can respond to it. So let's get back to this. So I hope I've been able to talk about what you do when you have debts and you want to get onto the system. That's what you do. Communicate with people you owe. But first, while you're doing that, begin to build. Why you build an emergency fund is so that you don't get into further debts, because there are more life emergencies that will happen beyond your current situation. So you need to prepare for the other emergencies so you don't get into the debts that you got yourself into right now. And that's what you do. You name the enemy, list the debts, you attack the high interest one, and you have the what? The avalanche approach. That is paying off the one with the highest interest. It will take time, I know. Follow the process. Now, let's look at this. Now, okay, we've dealt with you understanding what happens. I grow first. You understand emergency fund. You know what you do in case there is debt. Now, let's look at the investment playbook. Where to put the money in simple, plain English. No grammar here, nothing complicating. So you've gone through the process of, now you are used to living on just 80% of what you earn. You are used to living on just 70% of what you earn, or the gift that you've been given, or whatever comes. And let me quickly give a tip to you if you're young, because I can see I have people who are 16, 17, 18, or even some people who are younger than that. Let me tell you one thing to do. If in your family you get presents every birthday you do, you get gifts every Christmas, going forward, you kindly approach your parents or people that give you gifts that, thank you so much. I know you do this every time, but if you're thinking of doing this, I would like you to split whatever you want to do into two. And they will and explain the reason to them. You see, the reason is because I want to put 50% of that gift into what? Now, some of you, I can see your eyes rolling like, Coach, we didn't say 50%, or you said 20 to 30%. Okay, if it makes you feel more comfortable, let them know that you want to put 30% into a savings, and then the remaining can actually be for your gift. Especially your parents. If you call your parents and you told them that your Christmas presents, your birthday presents, that is how you want to make it happen, I don't think they would object, but there has to be a way you speak to them about that. So I just said I chip that in. So now let's look into the investment playbook. Now, I'm going to start with the problem and the mistakes most of us make. Why? There is an investment that's going to give you 20% every month. Is a lie. No reasonable investment pays you 20% monthly. None. So don't get caught up in what sounds too good to be true. See, if it sounds too good to be true, it is not true. I don't care who says the person who came to tell you might be telling you with all sincerity, but because they are from somebody they trust, who are from somebody they trust, but they could all be wrong. If it's too good to be true, if it's too enticing, don't put your money into it. What else? You gambling emergency cash. See, any money you are going to need in 3 to 6 months, you do not invest it. So you don't quickly say, let me quickly take my emergency fund and there's an opportunity. Joe Bloggs came and say, if I could, no, you don't. Your emergency fund, it is not for, see, remember, let this word ring in your brain. Your emergency fund is not for the money to grow. It's for the money to stay where it is and serve me when emergency happens. And I don't care your age. You might be 14, you might be 13, you might be 16, you might be 18. The reason is because you are building a habit. That is all we are doing here. It's habitual. And once you build that habit, it's easier for you later in life when you earn more, for you to not struggle to actually go by these principles. Most of us, we invest without understanding what we are investing into. Most of you will hear me speak and say, CoachMO said this thing. And one coach said this thing on the internet. I hear one coach said this thing. And you have no idea about it and you put your money into it. If you don't know how it makes money, don't put your money into it, period. That is the test I want. See, always tell yourself that, how does this thing make money? If you don't know how it makes money, not because somebody you trust says so, if you don't understand how it makes money, leave your money there. Money preserved is better than money lost. See, the first, Warren Buffett said something. He said the first principle of investing is don't lose money. He said the second rule is don't forget rule number one. Don't get caught up in the hype of this thing is going in, this is the, no, don't. And then, see, I keep going back to my people in Nigeria because you're about 75% of you are on the whole. So somebody's saying now, Coach, get me. This is where I am. I heard what you said. I heard GLG. I grow first. I am doing that. I heard you're talking about emergency fund. Coach, I have got my 1 to 3 months. I'm happy with 2 months, so I've got 2 months emergency fund. Now I am 20% to 30% keeps coming. And I don't have any debts, Coach, because I'm just 21. So I'm just 22, I'm 23, I'm 25. So what should I do? Don't worry, if you're not in Nigeria, I'm coming to you. Don't be in a rush. So, see, the first thing I'll tell you to do there is, while you are going to understand how it works, there's something called treasury bills. Now, treasury bills is always the government of a nation. They will come back and the government will say, borrow us money. Usually the minimum is 90 days and they will pay you a particular commission on its interest. As long as your government is still alive and your government has not failed, treasury bills will not fail. Because why? If government don't have money, they'll print more money anyway. So the first place to start if you're in Nigeria is just look into treasury bills. It is done directly with the government. There is nothing called zero. Now, it is called zero default risk. That means instead of the government not paying, they'll go and print the money and give it to you. That's where you start. It's perfect for beginners. If they are saying, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do, coach. All of these things, just see that word is called treasury bills. Lyle said, how do we go about it? I will come to you. I will tell you where. See, I'm telling you what to do with it. I will tell you the tools you need to use to get it. So now let's say you've been doing treasury bills for a while. You did it for 90 days. You got your money back. The interest came. You roll it over again, and you continue to do that. And while you're doing that, you're following CoachMO. You are learning. So you now got to a place whereby you've been doing this for 3 months. You've been doing it for 9 months, 6 months. And then you now got to the point where you feel like, okay, I know how it's working. I'm learning. And then the next thing you can go into is what I call the money market funds. Now, the money market fund normally returns between 15 to 20% a year. Please, Oluleye, we have not gotten to mutual funds. Don't let us go to mutual funds yet. See, I want us to go, because of other people on this call. I will come to your question, Oluleye, about mutual funds. But because of people who don't even know where to start, let us take it step by step. So the first step is what? Treasury bills. Write it down. Treasury bills. I will tell you how to do that. And you know something? You can start with as little as 10,000 naira to buy treasury bills. It doesn't take that much. So after you have your emergency fund, your money that is coming in there every month, you can be using it to buy treasury bills. And then we have the money market funds. Now, the money market funds are now where you have specialized companies who actually take your money and they go and work with it. It has a risk, but the risk is usually very low. And the good thing about it there is you can get your money out within 48 days. You don't need to be an expert to do that. Just pick one of the reputable companies. You can actually pick ARM, Stanbic, any of them there for money market funds. That is as good as a savings account, but just pays a little bit more. But your money is locked in there for about 48 hours, thereabout, give or take. Now, you've been doing this for a while. Now, for those of you who say, coach, I know treasury bill, Jare, coach, I know money markets fund. What is the next thing? Now, the next thing is what I call mutual funds or ETFs. And this is where I come to you, Lillian. What is mutual funds and what are ETFs? Now, mutual funds is just a basket of funds whereby they've gone to pick different stocks and they put it into that basket. They now give it a name. So a company has created a fund, and what is in that fund? They've gone to pick Dangote Cement. They've gone to pick MTN, they put it in there. They've gone to pick Aradel, they put it there. They pick Zenith Bank, they put it there. So they've gone to pick like 10 or 20 different companies and they put it into the fund. They will not tell you to come and buy a percentage of that fund. So when you buy a percentage of the fund, what you are doing is you are slowly buying a percentage of each of all the stock that is in that fund. A mutual fund is just a basket of different kinds of stocks and shares. And I hope you know stock and shares are just companies that are available. That is what they are. That is it. Don't let anybody use grammar to come and bamboozle you. That is what a mutual fund is. So there are different types of mutual funds. As where you are today, mutual funds and ETFs are almost the same thing. The difference is just a nuance you don't need to worry about this stage. So it's either a mutual fund or an ETF, any of them. And you can start with as little as 5,000 naira every month. Don't worry, stocks and shares are the same thing. There's no difference in that. Stock and shares, both of them are the same thing. Or sometimes I say stocks are shares. What they mean is you just own a bit of somebody's company. MTN is a company that they went to the public and they asked public, Public will come and buy parts of, come and own some of us. So you take your money, you say, I want to buy a stock or I want to buy a share. A share means give me one very small percentage of Zenith, of MTN, let me own it. That is what it is. So that is what is a stock or a shares. That is what stock and shares are. They are just you owning a percentage of a particular company. That is what it is. Now, a mutual fund now there is when somebody put like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, up to 1,000 different kind of shares into one basket. It's called mutual. Now, it's now mutual. They will now call many people to come and be buying percentage of that basket itself instead of buying individual shares. That is the difference. With stocks, you buy individual shares. With funds, you buy a collective basket of whatever is inside that basket. Do you understand, Olulaye? If you don't worry, you'll get it later. So after you've done that, now there's now another level. If you're thinking that, coach, you know what, this Naira thing, oh, I can't let all my money be in Naira thing, or all of this thing. Don't worry about it. It's not a problem. Do you now know that in Nigeria, because of technology, you can now invest in dollar assets right from your comfort of your house in Nigeria? Remember, I gave you an example of a lady earlier on. And what is that? It means you download all of these fintech apps, the reputable ones. You send in your Naira into the account. They will convert your Naira to dollars, and then you can begin to buy percentage shares. So let's say you don't have $300 to buy one whole Microsoft. You can buy $10 of Microsoft. It's called fractional shares. So you can own 0.1% of Microsoft or 0.1% of Apple. So you don't need a lot of money. You can start from $10. $10 is what? $10 is almost 14,000 Naira. So if you have 14,000 Naira and you said, okay, I want to, I already have some things in my Naira portfolio. I want to have exposure to some dollar accounts, some dollar investment. That's what you do. Now, Bolivar Fair started, wants to complicate this conversation. What's the advantage of mutual funds and individual stocks? That is a very intelligent question. Let me slow down and answer that. Remember, mutual fund is a basket of stocks. Individual stocks is just one. Now, I'm going to give you a practical, relatable example. You went to buy MTN shares. You are holding just 10 MTN shares. But that is you, Boluwatife. But Oluleye went to buy a mutual fund that has MTN, Dangote, Zenith Bank, GTB, and Aradel. Now, if MTN just performed very, very well, let's say MTN performed and they performed like 100%. So your 10,000 Naira in MTN goes to 20,000 of room because they've done very well. Now, because Oluleye bought a mutual fund that has some elements of MTN in there, Oluleye's portfolio will perform, but will not perform as well as yours because you have 100% exposure to MTN. So when they do well, your portfolio does very well. But when they do well, the person who has mutual fund, Oluleye's own, just does slightly well because they've only got a small percentage in there. Now, let us reverse the clock. Let us say something happened and the shares of MTN goes down by 50%. All of a sudden, your account that was 10,000 Naira becomes 5,000. Why? You only hold MTN shares. So when they do well, you enjoy. When they don't do well, you are also a partaker. So you don't enjoy when they enjoy and not suffer when they suffer. You take both. Now, the same thing will happen to Oluleye, who has a basket of funds. So let's say the performance of MTN is not good. His account will not go down as much because he only has small exposure to MTN. So let's say all the other accounts he has, they did well. His portfolio might not even go down at all. That is the difference. It's all about what we call your level of risk. If you own a stock, you have 100% of the risk. If you own a mutual fund, you have partial risk and partial benefits. because you only have small exposure to that particular company in basket of what you have. I hope that is explained that. So you can do dollar dominated assets right in Nigeria. Download one of these apps, do your know your customer, move in your 14,000 or 15,000 naira, they will convert it into dollars. And you can buy as low as $10 Tesla, $10 ETF, $10, whatever you want to buy in dollars. Now, these are now the big boys who now say, you know what? I know how to make this work. For those of you who now say, you know, I've been doing this for a while now, I can now actually go directly to the Nigerian Stock Exchange. And I have a broker and I want to be buying individual stocks. Equities are also stocks. Don't let this name confuse you. Equities, stocks, shares, they are all the same thing. So anytime you hear equities, they are talking about stocks. Anytime you hear shares, they're talking about stocks. When you hear stock, stock is stock. All those three things, they mean the same thing. Don't let that confuse you. So that is it. But really at this level, without guidance, I will tell you to avoid going straight to number 5. Laya says, which of the app would you recommend? I don't recommend it, but don't worry. We're almost finished. Now, let's quickly now see what happens. That 5,000 naira that you think is not important. I'm coming to you, Layo. I'll answer your question. The 5,000 naira you think is a very small amount of money. That you think it's not a lot of money there. That 5,000 naira, do you know if you actually save 5,000 naira every month for 10 years, you'll have 1.38 million at the return of what? Of 15% per annum. If you extend that from what? From 10 years to 15 years, and you see you will have 3 million at the same rates. But you would have thought if you're going for just 5 years, it should just be around 2 point something. Compounding interest does not work like that. So if you go further for another 5 years to 15 years, you have 3 million that your portfolio is worth. If you now go from that to 20 years, you will have 7.5 million. You can see that the math is not matching. The reason is because you have the power of compounding and time. The earlier you start, the more time you have, the better the market works for you over time. So the amount you put in there does not really matter so much. It is the habits that you create that matters most. Remember this, the habits and the consistency. That very, very early. And leverage remember when we started, all of you said you would not even take Bill Gates, who is 70-year-old and is $100 billion. That is if you use the time you have wisely. So, for those of you, because some of you also said, you know what, coach, this is what I do. I want to make more. For those of you who are thinking of, you know what, I do my 9 to 5, but I want to make more. So you want what we call multiple streams of income. I've got 4 key points I want you to focus on. Number 1, knowledge economy. What do you know that you can monetize? Learn a skill, master a skill in this world of AI. Master a skill and monetize the skill and let that bring you additional side income. You master the skill, the economy, you monetize the skill. Or you can then begin to look at dividends as sources of income. Now, let me tell you what a dividend is. Let's say you buy Zenith shares or GTB shares or Dangote shares or MTN shares. When you buy the shares, the price will go up. That is called capital appreciation. But you know one other thing they do? Every year, when they've now pulled together all the money they made, they pay all the taxes, they do everything they do, they now take a percentage. They now give it back to their shareholders as a thank you for owning their shares and for appreciating you for the performance of what the company has done. And they will now pay you a particular amount which is called your dividend. It has nothing to do with how much you have with them, but they normally pay the dividend per share. So let's say you have 100 shares and they're paying 2 naira per share, you will get 2 naira times 100, you get 200. Now, that is your money working in the bank. It is growing because the value of the bank is growing, and it's also paying you dividend. That means they are paying you money for holding the shares of that company. The fourth one is called rental business. That's a little bit complicated, but I know there are a few people who are in the age band of they're over 35 and they have some capital together and they're looking for other things they could actually put their money into. They can actually explore that as well. Not my favorite, but I put it there for knowledge. Now, this is where the crux is today. For those of you that have stayed, I'm making a commitment to you for the next 90 days. I will give you a blueprint now. So for the next 90 days, this is what we are going to do. We're going to do it together. You're going to get specific actions. You're going to get real deadlines, and it starts from tonight. So this is the plan. We're going to break it down into 3. The first 7 days. And for the first 7 days, I call them the foundation week. That is what you get for your foundation week. You do your 30 minutes money audit. You do your what? You open a dedicated savings account. You set up an auto debit that takes that 20 to 30% and put it into the savings. And then you will download. Now, Layo, you were asking me which app do I trust? I've put the names of the app that I trust there. That is not all, but I trust those. Piggyvest, I've been using them for a long time. Parrywise, I've been using them for a long time. Bamboo, I've been using Bamboo for more than 5 years. I am not recommending, I'm just telling you the ones I trust now. WealthSync is probably the ones I trust most out of all of them. It is because I know the people behind WealthSync, they have 100% integrity. I've used the other ones, I don't know the people behind them. I don't. But WealthSync, the team behind WealthSync, I know them 300%. So in order, I would say WealthSync first. If you go to your app store now, you'll be able to get it, but don't worry. If you have more questions about that, we'll talk about that later. So within that 7 days, you download any of those apps, you register on it, and we're ready to go. Now, between 8 to 30 days is when you begin to study one of the investments. You study it, we'll calculate your emergency vaults, we'll look into creating how you pay off your debt, all of those things, and how you monetize one of the skills. And then from 31 days to 90 days, what do we have? That is where we have your what? You make your first real investment. You automate, if you're ready, both your savings and your checking and your what? And your investments. And then you can at that point decide to join whichever financial accountability group you're going to join. Why? Because my team will place a link now in the chat. Oh, see, rejoice. For other people in other countries, you will benefit because of time. There are 13 countries here, so I couldn't go into all the 13 countries. But on that group, I will give you detailed information. I'm committed to speak to you once every week in that group. We're not going to email this link out to anybody else or things like that. It's for the people that have remained on this call. Click that link now and join the group. And this slide is going to be there. Pack is going to be there. What you need for the next 90 days is going to be there. And we're going to close this immediately we finish as well. So for the people who have waited, that is your benefit. Well, that is what we're giving to you. Click it now and see, take action now. So those who are saying, what is the toolbox that we need? These are the toolboxes. If you want savings, give us Parrywise. You want to invest, Meristem, Partnerstone, WealthSync. You want to invest in dollars, Bamboo, RiseVest, Taka. You want something to do your budgeting. Actually, WealthSync can do that for you as well. So these are so now for those who are in the United Kingdom, you have Vanguard, you have Free Trade, you have Trading View. Now, workplace pension, we'll talk about that. You're thinking of, okay, coach, which ETF couldn't join the group, it is full. Okay, my team, can you please look into that and wonder why it is full? Can you please try again? P2K team, you're an amazing team, please. Can you resolve that to make sure people can join the group, please? Okay, can you see now that you've got to be, it's what we call first come, first serve, but don't worry. If you're on the call up till now, they're going to fix it. You're going to jump in. Now, people in America as well. See, all the children in America, I know them. If you're not in America, you're in South Africa, you're in Kenya, you're in Ghana, whatever nation you're in, all the detailed information that is country specific, I'll be dropping them on that group as well. So once every week, you'll have me on the group. My team will support you throughout the week, whatever questions you have that is relating to this 90 days. And I think that is where what comes next. So slow down now, everybody. You have to show your commitment. And what is that commitment? Your commitment is right now. I don't want you to be a group that just does what? That just listens and does nothing. Right now, I want you to open your banking app. And I want you, if you have a savings account, immediately now, if it is 100 naira, 1,000 naira, 500 naira, do a transfer from your normal account into that savings account. If you don't have the savings account, type it in here and say, Coach, I don't have savings accounts. I'm waiting. Do you know what happens? Because what you're telling your body there is you are not just a group of people who just listen, I don't do. You're telling yourself that I listen and I take action. My team, can you please send the link over and over again so people can actually join? I'm committed to you, for that 90 days. Now, if you ask my clients how much they pay me a month to spend 1 hour with me, it is a fortune. But I wouldn't just give you a tool. I wouldn't just tell you things and not guide you through that because I can feel your passion. You're young, you are hungry, you want to do it, and I'll work with you for those 90 days. So, right now, have you done that now? Because why? Information does not build wealth. That is the secret there. It doesn't. What does? Decisions do. I have a mantra, and let me tell you what the mantra is. It says, decisions decides destiny. D, D, D. Can you type that? Decisions decides destiny. D, D, D. Can I have that? I'm waiting. D, D, D. Decisions decides destiny. Whatever is going to happen, it is only going to happen because of the steps you take, the decisions you make. D, D, D. Decisions decides destiny. Remember that. Decisions decides destiny. D, D, D. Now, who remembers our first mantra? When the first mantra we have that you tell yourself every morning? Let me see. You grow first. I love that. Ochipa says, yeah. Now, personalize it. You don't say you grow first. Personalize it. Personalize it. Personalize it. I grow first. I grow first. I grow first. Now, why would you grow first? Because why? Decisions decide destiny. You will decide your destiny by growing first. So, this is where I pause. I know my team, they do have a couple of things they want to share with you. Now, everybody, can you please go through that? Okay, you can spotlight me now, team. It's time for me to take questions and answers. See, it's getting better. I'm going to take maybe the next 5 questions. I'll allow you to ask the question. If you can't ask, type it there and I will respond to it straight away. Can you please spotlight me? Thank you very much for that. God bless. So I'm waiting for your questions. Questions. What questions do you have for me? For someone about to start a family, what kind of investment can you make for children as a family? That is beautiful. See, I love that. Now, the question there is, Boluwatife, it depends on which country you are in. If you're in the United States, United Kingdom, Canada, there are specialized accounts you can open for your children. What you just do there is you open them in trust. That means their name is there and it is your name there as well. When they get to the age of 18, you can change it. If you want to give me specific country you're in, I can give you specific apps you can download or specific countries you can go into. Now, for those in America, if you're in America, I would drop the link in the group chat. Everybody here, if you have children or you are under the age or you're about to start a family, you can actually, if you're under the age of 16, if you're not up to 18, you can have a Trump account. And if you don't understand, even if you're in the UK, you can have an ISA account. There's so many things we will talk about in the group. I will answer specific questions and give you detailed response. So what I do there is during the week, my team will communicate with you. They will do what they need to do with you. I'll take all the questions. I will go away with your questions and I will come back with detailed response one by each. So Boluwatfe, don't worry, we will talk about both of them, either you in Nigeria and the UK, and you can do both in both nations. I have a question. How do you go through the process of establishing a business startup? Oh, that is easy. The question there is, which country are you in? The country you're in will decide. The first thing there is, I believe, because you're going through the process, you already know the business you're going to be in. It solves a problem. You know how to scale it in Nigeria. When you're starting the business, please go and register it with CAC. After registering it, set it up, have a business account. Now, make sure your business solves the problem. Make sure you have the systems and processes in place to support the business. Make sure your business is not taken from your personal account because you are not your business. That is a whole new ball game completely. I hope that has helped you, but I can probably make you find find a day to do a recording just from businesses there for people in the group. Let me see, Deborah. I'm trying to fix my earning capacity, but my income is not stable for now because I do sales. Sometimes I make money, sometimes I don't. How do I use this for stock? Oh, Deborah, you've asked a good question. Let me give you an answer. So this is what you do. You look back over the last 6 months, add everything you've made, divide it by 6, find an average. There is always an average amount you make. Now, base your income on that average. Now, let's say in January, you made 100K. February, you made 60. March, you made 70. April, you made 10. You add all of that together. Now, divided by the number of months, that would give you an average position. Now, use that principle on the average. Now, this is what you do that would benefit you. Though you are going by the principle of the average, anytime you earn more, put more. And this is why we are using percentages. This is why it is beautiful. You know, I did not give you a specific amount. I said percentages. So so now for your emergency fund, you use the average. For you to do I grow first, you use percentage. So if you earn 100,000 this month, you do 20 to 30%. But you know that your emergency fund is going to be an average of that in total. Has that answered your question, Deborah? If not, we'll dive deeper into that in the group as well. Did I answer the question? I'll wait for others as well. Okay. Did I answer the question, Deborah, or do you want me to go deeper, or you wait for us to talk about it in the group? Oh, I did. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. So let me take 2 more. I don't want it to take us way too long today. Let me see. We've got very good with time. What time is it? Oh, almost 2 hours. We've got to finish because there's school, there's work tomorrow. So let me take one more question. My team, would you kindly put there the link again? I hope everybody, could you please let me know if you have subscribed? Can you put yes, yes, yes? Let me see if all of you, we've got 70 something here. Do we have up to 70 in the group? Let me see. Yes, let me see the yes, yes, yes. If you're there, yes, 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 yes. If you've not been able to do it, please put a no so my team can see if we have any no's at all. This is a gift for you staying up until now. It's not for everybody. I will work with who were here with me till the end of the day. Those are the people I'm working with. Yeah, let's go, let's go. I don't think I've seen up to 70 years. Have we seen any no at all? Okay, can you just drop the link one more time? If you've not done it, can you do that while we think? Do we have any other questions you want us to take? Because of time, I think what I can just do there is, one thing I can ask of you there is, if you don't currently follow me, my team, can you put my social media page link and everything there? If you put the links in the chat and also put the QR code, you can do it. Just give me a follow. I write every week on all my platforms. I write on my website. My website is myolusearch.com. I write on LinkedIn. I think on LinkedIn, I write like 3 to 5 times a week. I write a lot on LinkedIn. I write on Substack. Even I have audio content as well. So I convert my newsletters into audios and I put it there as well. So that is my link tree. They'll drop the link to my link tree there as well. So you can click it and give me a follow on Instagram, on TikTok, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on the website. Just you give it a click and then we'll continue from there. So if there is where is the link? Oh, my team, they're waiting for you to drop the link to my link tree. Can you please kindly help me drop the link to my link tree on there? Would appreciate that. Thank you very much. That's the link to my link tree. Click it and just go follow me everywhere. And even drop me a message. Tell me, say, Coach, I was at the session tonight. Let me know that. And then I hope you've all subscribed. If we don't have any other question, because we've got a long 90 days ahead, thank you. How can somebody in a developing country like Nigeria position themselves to earn at the global level despite local limitation? You have an internet, you have a phone. There's nothing called geographical backgrounds anymore. There are so many websites I will share with you on that group where you can actually register and see and apply for international jobs. See, the world is a global village. One of those days that you really need to move everywhere before you actually have any exposure at all. If you're good at what you do and you present your skills on social media, there's so many remote opportunities available around the world. So please drop that same question. So your own is to focus on getting the skill. Once you have the skill, say, don't worry yet so much about you. If you're that good, if you go with AI, there's so many remote AI jobs going. So those are the part of the opportunities I'm going to be sharing. Once I find them there, I'll drop it in the group. Those looking for remote jobs, those looking for, some of you, your question there is, Coach, how do I actually position my career development over the next 5 years? Those are the kind of questions I would have. So I'm giving you a premium value because you've stayed and because I am interested and invested in your future. Thank you very much, everyone. It's been great time. We would see if we're going to make this recording available. I'm not sure. My team will decide. Do you have an Apple podcast? I am on, find me on Spotify. I think it's called Money Matters with CoachMO. I'm on Spotify. You can find me on Spotify. But I'll look into Apple to see how I can get an Apple podcast. But yeah, I'm on Spotify. You can find me on Spotify. I have so much content available on the web. You can just Google me. You'll be able to get other places you can reach me as well. So thank you so much. I'm so blessed to have been able to share with you. I am rooting for you. See, let me tell you something. Impossibility is nothing. Remember at the beginning, none of you was willing to swap for a 70-year-old billionaire because you all believe you can do it. I have so much belief in you. That is why I'm doing this. What you now need to do, what there is, back it up with discipline, consistency, and get straight to work. Remember, you grow first, but most importantly, decisions decides destiny. Until next time, it's Coach Mo. God bless. Or does the team want us to take a picture? Do you want us to take a picture? I think my team wants us to take a picture. So they said, can you all please put on your camera so that they can just take a group picture? Because you never know in 5, 10 years, Some of you will become first lady. Some of you become governor. So you can see, yeah, you know what? Some of you become billionaires in dollars. Some of you, you appear on the Forbes list. Some of you, CNN will interview you. So you can see, yeah, we're all together. So let us see. Now, can you please put that? Let us share there is a way you can put it so that everybody can see everybody in tiles. Okay. So everybody put on your camera. You got to smile. Smile, smile, smile. Let me see your smile. See, it doesn't matter if you don't want the wig. If the wig is here, if the wig is there, it doesn't matter. It is great. You look amazing the way you are. So my team, are you doing the screenshot? Please be doing the screenshot. Once you've done the screenshot, let me know. Let me try and do one. Let me smile too. So we're waiting for others who put on your camera. Put on your camera. We're about to go. My team is doing that. Let me try and do that too as well. Let me the screenshot so that when some of you become governor, I won't be telling you story. I say, remember me in your kingdom because I'm rooting for you because I know that greatness is going to be birthed from today. I believe my team have done that. So you can unmute yourself now. We can all say hello to ourselves. We can do whatever we want to do. You can unmute.
Hello.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
God
you,
bless you.
sir.
Hello,
Thank you,
you,
sir.
Hello,
John.
everyone.
Thank
Welcome to the
you.
family.
Odette.
Thank
Hi.
you.
See you later, and God bless. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
Pastor, I see you. Pastor Light Media. Pastor Alicia, I saw you. I caught you. You're right on my face.